First at 4, Michigan's Attorney General sounds the alarm on domestic terrorism, but she says needs to happen to improve security. Also, here's Ben.
Kimberly, didn't see much in the way of rain today, but the winds are just getting started, and there's a whole lot to come as we head towards the weekend. Priya?
Most of us don't bat an eye when a father's son takes over the family's business, but in this case, it was a father's daughter.
I know we're making progress, but really, come on, people.
An Indian immigrant broke with tradition, and now his daughter is the CEO of a multi-million-dollar company.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kimberly Gill. First at 4, the state's entire COVID vaccination program is getting a shot in the arm right now, but there are also troubling signs about the spread of COVID. Ford Field is officially a mass vaccination site this afternoon after a soft opening yesterday. That's 5,000 extra vaccines per day for the next few weeks, but you must make an appointment before going. Now, the troubling signs include the first case of the UK variant of the virus in Lenawee County. It's cause for concern because that variant is associated with increased spread of COVID. Starting tomorrow, Beaumont Health is reinstating visitor restrictions to better protect patients and staff. Today, the state is reporting more than 4,400 new cases in the past 24 hours, the highest single-day total since December 15th. Plus, we've seen an additional 16 deaths. All of this fueling the push to get more Michiganders vaccinated. Sean Lay spent the day at Ford Field.
Good afternoon, everyone. From right outside Ford Field, one of the nation's largest COVID-19 vaccination, mass vaccination sites. Ford Field, smack dab right here in the middle of Detroit. Our city hit so hard by COVID-19, as you know. There is a heavy emphasis starting today on getting Detroiters vaccinated who haven't gotten the shot yet. The people we are speaking with telling us they're here to protect those loved ones around them, and this is intensely important for them. So far, no lines. People are coming in for their set appointments, getting the shot, waiting, and walking out. And again, so many personal stories people are sharing how COVID touched their lives in the past year and why this is such an important moment for them. Much more at 5 and 6.
Okay, Sean, we'll see you then. In more news, Michigan's Attorney General testified about the threat of domestic terrorism in front of a congressional panel today. Dana Nessel told the subcommittee on intelligence and counterterrorism threat complaints are up in Michigan and referenced the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The AG's office has issued charges for threatening public officials 5 times in the past 6 months. Nessel says law enforcement agencies need to do a better job of sharing information to stop terrorism before it happens.
We will get it when it gets to a certain level, and we'll find out later on that there were indicators that an individual was dangerous and had aberrant behavior that one would think would lead to something more dangerous later, but we just never found out about it because nobody passed it up to us. And had we known about it to begin with, we could have prosecuted something, perhaps, even a lower level misdemeanor, but it would have put this person, under the guidance of the court so that whether it's a mental health related issue or some other issue, that could be addressed before it turned into something much more dangerous.
Nessel also called for more federal funding to help her office fight the problem. All right, in the first forecast, the sun has returned to downtown Detroit, but we know there's more rain on the way this week. So, Ben, how do things look right now?
Well, we're getting rid of the rain, Kimberly, but we're just getting started with the wind. And Storm Tracker 4 shows we've got very few of those showers left here. There's some actual thunderstorms, though, here just off to our west. And so if you are going to be traveling 75 north from Genesee County up towards Saginaw, be aware you probably could run into a few of those. But look at some of these downpours. Even though these cells are pretty small, you can see some of these yellows and red shades as they move through Macomb County. So some brief heavy downpours as they move out towards the lake. The other thing we're watching, obviously, are the wind gusts. You can see right now 40 miles per hour at Metro Airport, all coming out of the south. And as Kim mentioned, there is a little bit of sunshine out there, so temperatures are running close to 70 degrees out there as we speak. We'll be into the 60s and eventually 50s. And notice those wind gusts are going to be decreasing through the night, but we've got much more wind and much more rain as we get into Thursday and Friday. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes, Kim.
In just a bit, Ben, thank you. We are learning more about the victims of the Colorado supermarket shooting as an investigation into the shooter's motive continues. Police say the 21-year-old man killed 10 people at a grocery store in Boulder. Police and former associates say he was prone to rage and delusions. One of his victims was 25-year-old Ricky Olds, a manager at the store. Her family says she tried to lock the doors after the shooting started in the parking lot.
Ricky was kind of the light of our family. Sad in that she didn't get to experience motherhood. She didn't get to experience marriage. She was 25 years old.
Investigators have searched the shooter's car, home, and social media for more answers. He's set to make his first court appearance on murder charges tomorrow. President Biden taps Vice President Kamala Harris to lead the response to the growing crisis at the border. The big reveal came during an immigration summit just a short time ago. It's a tricky situation because new video shows dozens of people, including children, crossing into the U.S. within minutes. 5,000 unaccompanied children remain in Border Patrol custody. The president says appointing Harris shows the issue is a top priority.
She's leading the effort because I think the best thing to do is to put someone who, when he or she speaks, they don't have to wonder about, is that where the president is? When she speaks for me, doesn't have to check with me, she knows what she's doing.
Vice President Harris will focus on coordination with Mexico and other Central American countries. All right, let's take a minute or two to salute some women's history in the making. We've seen father and sons in business for generations, but father and daughters is relatively a new concept. In the Indian community, especially, passing the family business to your daughter is still rare, but Priya Mann introduces us to a family that could be sparking a change.
Farida Ali had no technical experience in the medical or aerospace industries when she joined her father's business, but she proved a quick study and reached incredible new heights.
We were selling computers when Microsoft was just making games.
From a computer retail store in Garden City to a multi-million-dollar company in Farmington Hills, Dynamic CEO Farida Ali started her tech career working for her dad.
He was thinking about the future for women even back then. He never really thought of it any differently.
Fida H. Bora immigrated to the U.S. from India in the late 60s with just $10 in his pocket.
He sold our house and purchased this. They had just started selling Apple computers, and my dad believed everyone was going to have a computer on their desk, and he was right.
Fresh out of law school and pregnant with her first child, Frida approached her dad about joining the family business.
It's kind of funny, right? No one really questions it when it's the boss's son. So really how I looked at it is you've got to perform. You've got to show up every day. You've got to deliver results.
Going against the Indian norm, her dad appointed Frida CEO in 2007. Back then, the company sold 1,500 units a year. Under her leadership, this year, they're on pace to sell 18,000.
There were some people who thought that maybe I was just window dressing. My dad has always been great at saying, nope, I've stepped completely away. She's running everything. And having his kind of backing me up was really important.
Dynamic connects hardware for medical and aerospace industries. Bob Werner worked for a global life sciences company and as a customer knew Frida before she was CEO.
I can see that she's hired really good people. She's empowered them to do their jobs, and she's been down in the trenches. She understands what it takes to be successful, and she's still able, because of that ability and that historical knowledge about how to get things done, she's not afraid to get in there when she has to.
Frida says if you find you're the only woman in the room, don't be afraid to act like a woman.
We need to get over the fact that male characteristics are what leadership looks like. Women can be tough and competitive and smart and still be women, right?
Breaking barriers one device at a time.
There's just not as many Indian women in positions of power. I belong here. I can do this too. And I think we'll see that more and more as we see more leaders. Warren Buffett said that the shade that you're sitting under today was because someone planted a tree many years ago. And I think that's so true. And I feel like, I get to sit here and enjoy the shade right now.
In Farmington Hills, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Awesome. Okay, Priya, thank you. And still ahead, we'll be highlighting the accomplishments of more women through this newscast. Also, watch for more stories celebrating Women's History Month through the end of March. All All right, still ahead, remember this viral video? A woman accused a young black man of stealing her phone. Well, now the teenager's family is fighting back.
He has suffered something that will mark him forever.
This mother talks about who she believes should have kept her son safe. Also, a terrifying purse snatching. A lot of people will have questions about this one, what the victim is saying right now. And later on in the newscast, this U.S. soccer player has a message about equal pay for women, but apparently not everybody is on board. Stay with us for trending stories.
Season means it is open season for scammers targeting you.
I'll have all the information you need to know to protect yourself in a Help Me Hank Scam Alert.
On Local 4 News Today.